Well, guys and girls, moms and dads, kids, what's so exciting is that this Friday we have our pumpkin patch outreach. And I would encourage you to pray that we would be safe, that the community would see us serving, but most importantly, that we would be savory in drawing them like salt to the Word of God. Well, as you can see, I have a pumpkin up here, and my verse is Psalms 34:8, and it says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. How blessed is the person who trusts in Him." Now you're like, okay, Joel, you're going to give us all pumpkin pie? Is that what's going to happen? No, it's not. My goal for our children and students, this is what I would be saying to you if you were up here, is that I want you to see God's redemptive gospel occurring all around us. And so you would say, now how does that work with a pumpkin? Well, think about it. At this time of year, people go and they go to a store, they go to a pumpkin patch, and they select a pumpkin. Now, typically, when you get a pumpkin, it might be all sweaty, it might be all dirty, and there is possibly a cleaning process that goes on. And interestingly, if you're standing here, you're seated here today, standing, God drew you to Himself. You're here for a reason. Now, what's interesting is that it just doesn't stop there. As a matter of fact, something else that happens is that not only does God clean us up on the outside, but He also makes us aware of things that we need to clean up on the inside as well. Now, let me tell you a little secret. Joel does not like slimy things. Joel does not like slimy things. Not my favorite. This is a sacrifice. But that's what's cool. God got His hands dirty on us. And when we were weak, when we made errors, when we come and were imperfect people, He came to us and He cleaned us up. Yes, it's a legit pumpkin. There are legit seeds inside. And the cool thing is that He cleaned us up and He took care of us. Now, this is also interesting, and that is that He, not only does He clean us up on the inside, but He gives us eyes to see and ultimately to make a difference in this world. So I am cutting out some eyes here, and you're probably saying, okay, Joel, why did you pick taste and see? I mean, let's face it, a pumpkin requires a lot of work to be tasty. Well, interestingly, when I was trying to decide what to do on this object lesson, I was thinking, how am I going to relate the nose to the gospel? How am I going to relate the nose to the gospel? And if you're like me, you got COVID. And when you got COVID, you lost part of your smell. And if you're like me, much of your smell has come back, but not 100%. And so what's so interesting is that you appreciate taste when you can smell. You know what? I'm not going to get creative and make it perfect because I'll probably cut myself. You don't want to know what happened in first service. Let's just say there was an accident. We're hoping that one doesn't happen again. So we have eyes, we've been cleaned up, we have a nose so that we can taste and see the goodness of God. But ultimately, the point of all of that is so that we would trust in Him. And that's the key of the gospel. You can look at what God has done in your life and you can say, I can trust Him for the future because He has a plan and I get to be part of that. Well, this is my jack-o'-lantern. Hopefully you can see the inside and there's light coming out. I don't know if you can tell or not. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. Okay, the lights are coming down. Dun, 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 dun. I can't quite get it. Anyway, there you go. And just remember, we would covet your prayers for this week. And then last but most importantly, if you are a student and you're 5th grade and below, we have children's programming during this time. So you can stand up and head backwards. Thank you.